Adrian N. Breitfelder, City Clerk, you are hereby directed to call a special session of the City Council to be held on Monday, October 21st, 2024, at 5:30 p.m. in the historic Federal Building for the purpose of conducting work sessions to receive updates on the automated license plate reader system and the Greater Dubuque Development Corporation.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome to a special session of the Dubuque City Council for October 21st, 2024. As a reminder to viewers and listeners, due to the nature of tonight's meeting topic, public input is not accepted. However, you may contact the City Council directly from the city's webpage at www.cityofdubuque.org. And Eric, I see that GoToMeeting, it looks like it's still muted. If you can unmute us, that would be great. Attendance for the session is as follows. Mayor Kavanaugh.
Here.
Council members Farber.
Here.
Jones.
Here.
Resnick.
Here.
Roussel.
Here.
Sprank.
Here.
Wethel. Here. City Manager Van Milligan.
Here.
And City Attorney Brumwell.
Here.
Thank you.
Good evening. Mayor Kavanaugh, ladies and gentlemen of the council, City Manager Mike Van Milligan, most excellent city staff. My name is Rick Dickinson. I have the pleasure of serving as the president of Greater Dubuque Development Corporation. And I reside at 205 Hill Street here in Dubuque, and our office is located at 900 Jackson. I am here tonight to, for the first time, to present as a work session the information from the previous 3 months of activity at Greater Dubuque Development Corporation. We've done this previously at council meetings. We have an agreement with the City of Dubuque and the citizens of Dubuque that on a quarterly basis we give you an update of what's transpired in the last 3 months and what's coming up, if in fact we can say. So I thank you for the opportunity to be here with you for this work session, and I ask that you stop me at any point if you have a question about what we're presenting this evening. First of all, this is the 40th anniversary of Greater Dubuque Development Corporation. It was founded just a few weeks from now, 40 years ago, November 4th, my wife's birthday, in 1984. And it's been a great run. It was established by two business people who sadly are no longer with us, Bruce Merriweather and Nick Schrupp, when they felt there was a need to have a collaborative organization, Big Ten organization, where everyone had a voice and no one had control. It was because there was a schism between the council and the private sector. And the citizens began to believe that the business community had too much influence on the council. And so there was a schism. And there was also a dramatic decline in our success. So in 1984, they launched Greater Dubuque Development Corporation, and I'm pleased to present the activities just in the last 3 months of that 40 years. We do about 250 interviews every year with businesses throughout Dubuque, the Dubuque MSA, which is Dubuque County, with the vast majority of those interviews being done in the city of Dubuque. And then we provide this report to then our investors, our board, and certainly our public sector partners. In the last 3 months, we've conducted 66 info action interviews, and the results you'll see here, I'll not go over them in detail, but they're showing that the economy is strong in Dubuque County, despite announced layoffs, despite a slowdown in national economy in many ways, especially in the Midwest. We are doing quite well, and I'll get more into that in a bit. We also ask the business leaders how they feel about different services within the community, and understandably, air service until November, when is it, Brad?
4th.
November 4th is a weakness, but beginning on November 4th, assuming we use this excellent service, it's going to improve certainly. And fire protection, ambulance service, police, colleges and universities, K through 12 education, community colleges rank the highest. And we track this every meeting, and we report this information to the city. At the top center, you'll see Government Relations Index. There was a bit of a kerfuffle by folks saying people are saying about 2 years ago. And one of the things that the board suggested was that we specifically ask employers when we meet with them, what is the ease of doing business with the city of Dubuque, with Dubuque County, with state government, with federal government? And if the employer is in Piasta, what's it like doing business in Piasta or Dyersville or Cascade? I think these are impressive numbers. You'll see that they rank the city in the last 3 months at 4.93 in a scale from 1 to 7. That's strong. Now, we also were asked by the board, okay, that's fine, but what's the breakdown of those numbers? How many people rank the city a 7 or a 6 or a 5 or a 1? There too is very positive information. 82% of every employer we contacted in the last 3 months believed that the city was ranked 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th, above average. 82%. 2 people gave you a 1. They weren't happy. But 2 people gave you a 7. They thought you rocked. But 32% ranked the city as a 6, and 32% ranked the city as a 5, and 7 as a 4. I think this is very strong information for the council to know that the business community is working hand in hand with the public sector. We have differences, we have pinch points, but the bottom line is we have a collaborative organization here and system here which is unique in the nation. We also then talk about what are the strengths, the weaknesses, and the potential for growth in our community. Top 3 strengths are quality of life and our amenities. Market size, location, and customer loyalty are ranked as number 2. Community leadership and partnership, testimony to what I just shared with you, is seen as a community strength by the business community. 3 top barriers to growth: population, market size, and capacity. Number 2, workforce and labor pool. There is a workforce shortage nationally and in the Midwest in particular. And of course, air service as a barrier to growth until November 4th. And then top 3 weaknesses: workforce again and the labor pool, population, market size, capacity, and air service. 82% reported the community is attractive for hiring workers. There just aren't enough people to attract. We also do what's called an HR action, where we sit down with our HR team, with HR professionals in the community, to go beyond what the CEO is saying, the president is saying, and really get to the people who are practitioners about human resources. This is a fairly small sampling in the last 3 months of 4, but it shows that the focus for employers is to improve the culture of their work environment to help them retain quality employees, realizing how difficult it is to recruit new employees. Again, we get into rankings a bit. So how do you rate the ease of doing business with the city? These are the last 50 interviews. But on the right-hand side, it's the ease of doing business with employers that have had projects in Dubuque. Another point that was made by our board, okay, the rankings of the relationship and the ease of doing business by employers in Dubuque is high, but are we talking to people that are doing projects in Dubuque that really experience the relationship between the city of Dubuque and that employer? And the answer is yes, and the results are very similar. The average ranking of those people who have done a project in Dubuque since July 1 of over 50 interviews conducted in that 3-month period was they ranked the city of Dubuque as a 4.20, which you knocked the federal government off, understandably, at 3.92. And we continue to ask these questions, and you know, and the citizens should know, that we share this information with the city manager and his staff on our weekly Wednesday meetings at 10:30. And if something needs to be addressed at a particular company, we have that conversation. We share the good news as well. We have 5 goals, and You Can Be Great Here campaign that began in 2022, will end in 2027. Looking to increase the number of jobs in our market to 64,000. As of today, we were informed that we're at 61,000. That's a 2,000, these are old numbers, I apologize. This is from last month. We showed a year-over-year growth of 1,300 employees, which is the highest job growth in the state of Iowa of any metro. Let me repeat that. Dubuque County had the highest job growth from August of 2020 2023 to August of 2024 of any metro. We increased the number of jobs by 1,300. For example, Des Moines was 700. Des Moines had a 700 increase. The data we're getting in today is not fully vetted yet, but Des Moines actually lost workers in the last 12 months since September of 2023. So we're outpacing our competition. Median household income, $73,495 towards our $76,000 goal. I will share with you that one of the regions we're comparing ourselves against, the Northwest Arkansas Regional Council, our median household income is higher than theirs. Construction investment, $600 million in 2 years and 3 months. That's 60% of our goal, with only 40% of the year of the five-year campaign consumed. Population growth, it's a weakness in our results. 98,887 is our current population, far cry from 105, but we have work to do, as does the Midwest and as does the nation. And reduction in poverty, we're hoping for updated numbers by December that'll tell us that we have dropped that poverty level in our community. This gets again to the results. We were so proud of this 2.2% increase and this 1,300 growth that we put some billboards out there to share the good news, that there are opportunities in Dubuque, despite the fact that we have had layoffs in our community. So total non-farm employment was 61,000, up 1,300, ranked first in the state of annual job growth. Employment remains at 800 jobs above our pre-pandemic high, which was in August of 2019, and unemployment has dropped to 3.3%. And this is the graph that we review with our board investors every month, and it shows you the progress. That red line with the X is the new 2024, and the red line at the bottom was the disaster of the pandemic year. John Deere layoffs, Duluth Trading layoffs and closure, and PSSI relocation are bad news for our community, but I want you to know that we are working to make sure that we keep those quality employees in our market. And so we've just in the last while had some job fairs. On September 5th, we had a job fair at Steeple Square. We had 220 job seekers attend that fair. 46 employers and resource booths were available. Resource booths included the Northeast Iowa Community College, our team at Greater Dubuque Development Corporation, Iowa Workforce Development, where we sat down one-on-one with people. We didn't direct them to a terminal someplace and wished them luck. We sat down with these folks and tried to help them navigate accessdubukejobs.com and find employment, and a number of job offers were made that day. On October 2nd, we held another job fair that was previously scheduled. We did this one on the fly on the John Deere and Duluth Trader and PSSI relocation because we felt the need to do it right away on September 5th. But we had previously scheduled a job fair which included higher education on October 2nd. That too was well attended with over 224 job seekers, 53 employers and resources booths were available. To give you an idea about that, we do not charge employers to attend. It is free for all participants as long as they are investors in accessdubukejobs.com. And each of these events typically run between $10,000 and $12,000 a pop. So thanks for helping with that. Greater Dubuque Development's Workforce Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification, the acronym WARN. When an employer lays off a number of people or shuts down, the federal government requires that within 60 days of the effective date of that layoff or shutdown, they notify the employees and the governmental entities in which they're located that this is going to occur. We watch that like a hawk. And here you will see a list of employers from Eau Claire, Wisconsin to Des Moines, where we reach out to those people impacted by these WARN notices, whether it's at John Deere or recently Yellow Schwann's Trucking in Dyersville with 6 employees laid off, and give them the good news about the opportunities that exist in Dubuque, give them personal contact of people they can get a hold of, refer them to accessdubukejobs.com. And it has resulted in many hires from physicians to production workers. You Can Be Great Here Community College series. This Community of Colleges series is a number of events that we hold in our community to retain college students in Dubuque upon graduation. A couple of events that have happened since we last met was Derby Grange College Night in September, where we just give free tickets to the students to attend to play miniature golf or do batting practice, golfing, golf range, a variety of fun things to do. 160 students participated. We had Access to DubuqueJobs.com Fall Career Fair on October 2nd. 50 employers showed up at that, as I mentioned, and 220 job seekers. In November, on November 8th, we'll have College Hockey Night, where typically about 400 college students show up, meet each other from all the colleges in our region. We hope they meet folks and develop relationships and decide to stay in Dubuque, have families, and work. February 5th, 2025, Island Social College Night. That will be at the new Q Island Social to introduce them to the arcade. The neat thing about the Q now is you can be under 21 and go to the Island Social component of the facility, and they will be experienced in the new arcade. And on March 26th, we'll have another career fair called the Spring Career Fair. These are the fairs that we attend as representatives of the business community. Access to DubuqueJobs.com. You can see the list here. Higher education within a 200-mile radius. Most recent ones coming up will be Southwest Tech and Highland Community College in Freeport. This is a copy of, just 2 weeks ago, we launched our new relocation guide. We recommend this for every employer that's recruiting talent. You can see the breakdown in the lower right-hand corner. We supply fillers in there that we can update as needed to make sure everything is current, everything from activities in our community to how to hook up for your utilities. We recently received the International Economic Development Council, IEDC's 2024 Excellence in Economic Development Award for Public-Private Partnerships. This is for the child care programming that has occurred in our community, our partnerships with the city, with the county, with Dubuque initiatives in particular to expand child care. Phase 2 of funding has been applied, and we're hopeful we'll have that to have Phase 2 of the new facility with an emphasis on infant care and expanded training facilities at the Bright Mind Center, where the city is transferring its IT department. Upcoming work sessions, December 16th, 2024. Retail strategies. At that work session, we'll be presenting the work of retail strategies that we retained on July 1 to do a psychographic analysis of our community, to understand what weaknesses we have in supplying retail and hospitality in our market, who should we be creating, and what can our buying power appeal to. So we'll give you a full report on that on December 16th. But if you look at the top 10 factors in the most recent Next Gen survey that we've already shared with you, you'll notice affordable home ownership and affordable quality rental housing are in that top 10. They also have the biggest gap between what the expectation is and what the delivery of that expectation is in our community. Thank you, City of Dubuque, for changing your approach to assisting developers in single-family unit development, in market rate rental development, and low and moderate income housing development. It's addressing one of the top 10 issues, two of the top 10 issues in our market. And we'll see, too, with variety of restaurants and shopping and commercial districts as weaknesses. That's being addressed by your partnership with Greater Dubuque Development in retaining professionals like retail strategies to understand our community and to market the community to outside developers. And I'll be glad to answer any questions you have, and thank you for your continued support of Greater Dubuque Development.
Well, thank you very much, Rick. Open it up for any questions or discussion that we have this evening for Rick.
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah, Mr. Jones.
just to comment that relocation guide is beyond outstanding. It is an incredible piece, and I've shared it with a number of people, friends far and wide, and gotten great feedback on it.
Thank you, Rick. Yes, it's. I should give credit to Jenny Peterson-Brandt in our office, formerly with the City of Dubuque. in your Arts Department with Economic Development Group. She put this together to us, and as I mentioned, we have these inserts that includes do great things, something for everyone, resources abound, world-class education, where to live, making the move, and all of this is available on a QR code, so anyone in the world can pull all this information about Dubuque County as a place to be.
Yeah, Ms. Farber.
And happy anniversary and congratulations on the 40th. That is just an incredible amount. That's 4 decades of work for the city of Dubuque. And of course, every 10 years, there's just monumental change going on. So I know that what you do today impacts what we do tomorrow. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I should have mentioned, too, we're being noticed by others for best practices. So the work that's been done by the city, by the county, the school system, the Y Dubuque initiatives with a child care initiative. Tomorrow, a team from Freeport, Illinois will be coming to figure out what they might do and see this as a model in about 2 weeks. The chair of the Board of Supervisors, the mayor, and my counterpart at Des Moines Partnership from Des Moines and Polk County will be here to do the same. I think they were voluntold to do that by the governor because of what has been achieved here and what others can do by modeling after that. But the leadership that's been shown by the practitioners, by the public sector, and by the private sector to expand that other top 10 issue, which is childcare, is pretty phenomenal and envied around the country.
Yeah, Mr. Resnick.
Mr. Mayor, thank you very much. I'm always impressed by, one of the worst things about being laid off, I think, is you have to pull up stakes, say goodbye to people, maybe family and friends that you've known for a long time, because you got to follow that job. We've all followed jobs before, hopefully because we wanted to follow that job. And being laid off is tough. But I really like your organization's quick and expert service in helping to reconnect to these families to get a local job so they can stay. So many people love our community for many reasons. And I'm always, the very next hour after an official announcement, you're on, and maybe even before that you got a heads up that this is going to happen. But I really appreciate that, and I'm sure you get a lot of positive feedback from the folks you've helped. Can you recall, without names, anybody having that type of reaction and didn't know that the community was going to respond?
You're never a prophet in your own land, but I think few people realize how prophetic it is, the work that the public sector and the private sector do in Dubuque for people. Not organizations, not employers, not elected officials, just John and Jane Q. citizen. Yes, we often know about the layoffs before they're announced, and it's usually by information supplied by principals at the company or by employees, and we begin planning immediately. But what's really unique about what happens in our region is when a warn notice goes out, there's something called the Rapid Response Team. Every place else in America, it's everything but rapid. It's slow, it's plodding, it's impersonal. It doesn't have that one-on-one outreach to people to take care of them. But in Dubuque County, it is that. It is rapid. It is personal. And people, their reaction ranges from glee to tears of happiness because somebody gives a damn.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, Ms. Bethel.
I would just like to validate that. I had the opportunity to go to the September 5th job fair and just stop down. And it was pretty close to some of the layoffs in our region. And I experienced exactly what you just described. I experienced people that were incredibly grateful for the opportunity, both employers, but also those that knew they needed to seek a job And the chance for them to connect with so many employers in such a short time, it truly was remarkable, and individuals and employers were both so grateful. So I validate what you say, and I'm grateful that I was able to witness it because it's true.
Thank you. And employers like it too, because they get to find quality people that showed up every day to work, put in a full day, and are quality folks that just happen to be in the wrong end of the seniority list when the layoff or the shutdown occurred. Yeah, and so it's taking care of everybody.
All right. Well, I'll just close by saying that, you clearly outlined some of the challenges that we have. I think they're listed there in the info action reports that you get through all the meetings that you have on a regular basis with employers, but then also just the statistics tell the story. And, yes, we have had some layoffs and we have had some challenges, but at the very same time, we have the highest number of workers in our region in the records that you shared with us. So, we're seeing some real success, and I think that you are a huge part of that. The Greater Dubuque Development Corporation is a huge part of it. The partnership that it creates to be able to solve these problems, I think, is, like you said, in many ways unmatched across the country, but incredibly important in the work that we do. And I appreciate, because it's hard work. It's hard to keep those partnerships together, and it's hard to make sure that we're focused on success together. So I appreciate that we have you really keeping us there and keeping us pointed in that direction. And then congratulations on the awards as well. It's good to be recognized for the work that you're doing. So I think that it's important to be able to share that with all of us. So thanks for doing that.
Thank you. It's a recognition of everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great team. All right. Well, thank you very much, Rick. We appreciate this, and glad we're able to move this to a work session format. I think this is working pretty well.
See you in December.
All right. Sounds good. There is no further business in this work session, so we will be adjourned till 6:30.